Yes, it's the 22nd of April and you're just in time for the Legends edition, coming to you live from Broadcasting House in the capital city of Nairobi, Kenya. Good evening, I'm Edmund Mudibo, and top in this bulletin. Shakahola puzzling deaths. 14 more bodies exhumed from shallow graves in Magarini, Kilifi County. Unlocking economic potential. President William Ruto assures Kenyans of quality infrastructure. And flash floods in Mombasa. Heavy rains destroy houses, block access to major roads. Many thanks for making the Legends edition your choice for news this evening. Our sign language interpreter is Lucy Maura. 14 more bodies have been exhumed from unmarked graves in Shakahola, Kilifi County, bringing the number of those retrieved so far to 21. The bodies are believed to be the followers of the Good News International Church, a religious organization linked to controversial preacher Paul Mackenzie. New details are also emerging about Mackenzie, and it is said that those who know him are telling KBC how he rose through the social ranks to establish the new controversial religious unit.
21 bodies, among them those of children and women, have so far been retrieved from graves scattered deep inside Shakahola forest, the scene of a criminal investigation involving Paul Mackenzie and the Good News International Church. More bodies are expected to be exhumed in the coming days as the true magnitude of the controversy continues to unravel. Details are also emerging about Paul Mackenzie, the man at the center of the investigations.
Wakati mmoja kulipokuwa sasa kumeingia low season, Paulo Mackenzie akaamua kujiingiza kwa kanisa. Na bahati mzuri Mackenzie akakuwa pastor.
Julius Charo says he has known Mackenzie for almost 20 years. Back in the day, Mackenzie was a very social person who freely interacted with people.
Lakini Paulo Mackenzie ni mtu ambaye tumemjua kwa miaka mingi na hakuwa na hizo tabia. Lakini mambo huje kabadilika kama hivi ambavyo amebadilika, amekuwa ni kama ambaye si binadamu tena.
Charo says as the flock grew, Mackenzie began to instill controversial beliefs in his followers.
Changamoto ilikuja baada ya yeye kuanza kuamrisha wakina mama wasinyoe, watoto wasiende shule, wakigonjeka wasiende mahospitali, na kama uko na certificate yoyote uichome.
A taxi driver says he met Mackenzie in 1997. He says he knows some of those who have fallen prey to his radical teachings.
Maana huyo mshirika sasa hivi ambayo nasema alibaki kule, mamake sasa yako kwa kilio sahihi. Anatafuta mtoto wake akiwa anaitwa Mwanahawa huyo msichana.
He says he later abandoned the church, leaving the wife and children, whom he says were radicalized to hate modern education and children coerced to drop out of school.
Na sasa nikaanza kueleza bibi na watoto, manake watoto wangu pia walikuwa wameanza kubadilika, ya kusema kwamba sasa dadi sisi tunaenda shule vipi, sijui nini, Biblia inasema tusome, tayari Biblia inatosha. Upande wangu mimi nilishikia kiboko watoto wangu na nikawaadhibu, nikawaambia kama ni hiyo kanisa sasa hivi sasa kuna mtu yote kwenda kanisa.
Those who know Mackenzie say they're not shocked by the unraveling details, but hope that the matter can be effectively addressed and justice served. Sarafina Robi for Legends Edition.
The government is committed to unlocking the country's economic potential through the construction, expansion, improvement and maintenance of road networks across the country. President William Ruto has assured Kenyans of quality infrastructure that will ease transport, improve connectivity and accessibility, especially in rural areas.
Speaking in Meru County when he launched the tamaking of the Kaelo Kamukunji Mutuati Road in Gembe North, President Ruto said the road will enable and accelerate trade flows in Meru and neighboring counties.
Tushirikiane, tuungane, ndio tuweze kupeleka mambo ya Meru mbele.
The president also noted that the tertiary education sector was wanting and promised more funds.
We are going to double the resources that are going to our teachers and our universities so that we can eliminate the challenges in our institutions of higher learning.
Ruto also reiterated his commitment to lowering the cost of living, promising that the price of maize flour will continue to drop in the coming days.
Saa hii ilifika by last week 170. By this week tukienda mbele mtaona bei tofauti tukielekea mbele 150 ikiteremka.
On miraa, which is the main cash crop in the region, he said the eradication of levies on the crop will be a welcome boost to the region.
Tuko na sheria mpya ya mambo ya miraa. Ilianza kutekeleza ama kutumika kama siku 10 zilizopita. Na hiyo sheria itaondoa sasa ile malipo nyingi ambayo inaharibu bei ya miraa na kuweka duni ile pesa inafikia wakulima.
The head of state adamant that he will not take part in any exercise meant to further the interest of politicians.
Haiwezekani ya kwamba baada ya uchaguzi miezi 6, 7, 8 bado tunataka kurudisha hao wananchi kwa mambo yetu ya viongozi. Mimi nawatangazia mimi sitakuwepo.
Area Governor Kawira Mwangaza assured the president of support.
Sisi rais tumesema hatuwekelei masufuria kwa kichwa, hatuendi kwa barabara kuandamana, tunataka ukuja mara nyingi utuletee maendeleo hapa mbele.
Leaders accompanying the head of state, led by Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, noted that the bipartisan talks in parliament would be objective, urging the opposition to give the talks a chance for the prosperity of the nation.
Hayo mambo tumeanza na nataka nikuhakikishie sisi tutafanya ile kazi kuzingatia katiba yetu na sheria vile ulivyotuuliza.
Wewe ni president wetu ule tulichagua. Sababu tumesema wewe nafasi utufanyie kazi tukiwa wa Kenya na tukiwa wa Meru.
For Legends Edition, I'm Ben Troy Njue.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is in Gaborone, Botswana for a 4-day working tour. The DP will represent President William Ruto at the second edition of the Forbes 30 Under 30 Summit Africa. The forum brings together successful youth entrepreneurship, tech, health and science, creatives, sports and arts. Saturday evening, the DP engaged more than 250 Kenyans living in Botswana and encouraged them to invest back home. The meeting at Avani Hotel in Gaborone was also attended by Kenya's High Commissioner to Botswana, Mohamed Shidie. Gachagua will hold several bilateral meetings, including with the host president, Dr. Eric Mokwetsi Masisi. Talks will be on fostering the relations between the two countries. Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition leader Raila Odinga has responded to sentiments expressed by the Catholic bishops against mass action, saying it is a constitutional right. Instead, Raila is blaming the police for turning peaceful demonstrations into chaos by attacking protesters. In a statement, the opposition leader, however, applauded the Catholic Church for embracing the position that the government needs to intervene and lower the cost of basic commodities.
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party has taken note of remarks by Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops against the public protests that the opposition has been leading. In a statement, Azimio leader Raila Odinga reiterated the mass protests are always peaceful until the state unleashes police and goons on protesters. Raila appealed to the church to partner with Kenyans in calling on the government to respect Section 37 of the Constitution, which guarantees the right to assemble and demonstrate. The opposition leader has also disagreed with what he terms as characterization of the push to audit the IEBC servers as unnecessary. Responding to the church, Raila says the push to inspect the servers is guided by the core doctrine of Christianity, which is a belief in the truth and nothing but the truth. Meanwhile, a section of Muslim leaders from North Rift region have urged the opposition leader Raila Odinga to shelve calls for countrywide demonstrations and allow bipartisan talks to take shape.
Rais wetu aliyechaguliwa na wananchi wote tunamuomba amsikize na Raila akubali kufuata sheria za nchi, kwa sababu tayari nchi hii ina rais aliyechaguliwa kwa katiba na aliyeidhinishwa na IEBC kwanza, pili na mahakama kuu.
The Azimio leadership has threatened to return to street protests, claiming the government is not committed to the bipartisan talks. Gishoki Washira, Legends Edition.
At least 50 households in Mombasa County have been affected by flash floods following a heavy downpour being witnessed across the coastal strip. Heavy traffic snarl-ups were witnessed for the better part of Saturday across major roads leading into and out of the island and its environs as the county disaster team relentlessly responded to distress calls. Residents have been asked to brace themselves for more rains by the weatherman.
Saturday morning at the Makupa Causeway in Mombasa. Following a heavy nightfall downpour, water blocking the causeway as stranded motorists and pedestrians struggle to make their way into the coastal city. The situation mirrored along major roads across the CBD as drainage and uncollected waste flowed freely.
Sahi barabara zote ziko sawa. Kibarani barabara iko sawa. Sijui wapi kule roundabout ya railway barabara ziko sawa. Abdul Nasir barabara ziko sawa. Watu lazima tutajua kunjia ya kufuata sheria. Hakuna hivyo wala hivyo.
Water currents destroying roadside stalls, forcing some traders to close their business premises due to clogged drainage.
Maji yamejaa ndani ya nyumba za watu. Kama mama wanapika mandazi saa hali yake muone vile alivyo. Akitoka pale kwa salama kweli, si magonjwa pia yako ndani. Pindu pia tunatarajia sasa. Maana sasa uchafu wote kama mapampers yote yamerudi ndani ya nyumba zetu.
In Utange Bamburi Ward, the county's administration disaster management unit was forced to rescue several families stranded in floods, a state of affairs witnessed in at least 50 households across the county.
You will get me the families of those who have been affected, tutawasaidia on a humanitarian way. Lakini yule mwenye nyumba ambaye alokodishia watu nyumba and that house does not have an occupation license, we will deal with those people.
Mombasa Governor Abdul Swamad Sharif Nasir attributed the unfortunate turn of events to poor drainage and an unlicensed structures.
Hii mvua lao ingeliongezeka masaa mengine zaidi, manyumba imeanguka. If anyone, and it is a county employee alipitisha hiyo kitu, the same way nimefanya action before kwa mambo mengine, na hii pia apatiwe show cause letter ilikuwaje akapeana an occupation license and that property sivyo vile ambavyo kwamba ilipopitishwa.
Weather conditions are expected to remain the same for the coming weeks across the region. Juni Karisa Mbele from Mombasa County.
Time now for our first break, but don't go too far because we've got plenty more after this break. Stay with us.
Nafasi yako ya kuwa mdosi wako. Jiunge na washindi tufanye biashara. Kuwa mshindi. Mozartbet.
To get Skizatune Hail Mary, dial *811 *963#.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
To get Hail Mary, dial *811 *963#. *811 *963#.
In the name of Jesus Christ, Mungu anatarajia ukanyange hatua mbele. Wengine wametawaliwa na uchawi, wakati wao umefika. Wewe umenitazama siku ya leo. Neema na kibali cha Bwana kikawe juu ya maisha yako.
Welcome back. After 10 years of clinical trials, the Kenya Medical Research Institute, KEMRI, has handed over the Uji Plus porridge innovation back to the Terik community in Nandi County after certification by the Pharmacy and Poisons Board of Kenya. Uji Plus is ordinary porridge flour fortified with herbal extracts. It will be used for deworming children, with the long-term goal being to incorporate it in the school feeding programs. Wycliffe Okech, has the details.
Kenya Medical Research Institute Acting Director General Professor Elijah Songok says the Uji Plus innovation originated from the Terik community. They believed the herbal extracts used in making the porridge was effective in deworming children. KEMRI thereafter took up the innovation and for more than 10 years conducted clinical research and trials on the safety and efficacy of the product.
As you know, we are doing national schools deworming programs. KEMRI is very critical in it, in all schools in the country, supporting the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Health. Now, when we are doing those deworming programs, one issue that always comes is that there's an age of children. We cannot be dewormed by using the drugs that we currently have, because those drugs are toxic to those children, 6 years and below. We noted when we did the trials of this particular Uji Plus that this gap could be cured by that. So children who took this could be able actually to have to clear their worms, especially stomachaches, and also ringworms, roundworms, and also the nutritional capacity also increased.
Having been certified by the Pharmacy and Poisons Board of Kenya, Uji Plus has now been handed over back to the Terik community.
We are ready to move now because we have the factory, the startup factory, and we hope we are going to produce more. The mass production is going to be enhanced so that we can supply to most of the schools which are within.
Na tunaona ya kwamba jamii hii watakuja kufaidika. Wakati wa kuuza unga yenyewe itafaidi jamii hii. Kwa watoto wao na afya yao itakuwa ya manufaa sana.
Other than deworming, the porridge clears skin infections among children and is highly nutritious according to the scientific research and trials conducted by the Medical Research Institute in conjunction with the Kenya Industrial Research and Development Institute.
Kabla ya uji, idadi ya wanafunzi ilikuwa chini mno. Lakini tangu wakunywa naona watoto umeongezeka. Ya pili, watoto walikuwa wameshikwa na mashilingi. Lakini tangu watumie hii uji naona mashilingi, hawana tena mashilingi kwa vichwa yao. Na afya yao tena imeimarika. Wanang'ara, wamenona.
Both the national and county governments have been asked to embrace the product by incorporating it in the school feeding program.
So we know there are so many county governments who are beginning school feeding programs. We are telling you that there is a product here that you could be able to use as part of your school feeding program. You doesn't need that they have to use Uji Plus for the whole year. Just maybe 1 month every term is enough.
Kile ambacho tungeomba tu ni ya kwamba sehemu zile zingine wapate unga hii ili jamii yao pia wawe na afya.
The Kenya Medical Research Institute is now calling upon communities with unique herbal products to come forth and engage the Research Institute in order to make the most out of the product through scientific research and trials, as in the case of the Uji Plus innovation, which is an indigenous traditional knowledge of the Terik community here in Nandi County. Reporting for the Legends edition from Aldai constituency in Nandi County, I am Wycliffe Okech.
Meanwhile, the national government and Kenyans at large have been asked to spearhead efforts in helping treat persons with curable disabilities. East African Legislative Assembly Member of Parliament David Sankoch says people with correctable disabilities have been neglected.
Speaking during an ability walk aimed at creating awareness of pediatric disabilities and raising funds through charity, Yala MP David Sankoch called for the protection of people with disabilities.
Again, we agreed in the Disability Charter that all equipment that will be used by Kiwa International, because it is specifically for corrective surgeries, will be exempted from taxes.
We want to raise money, we want to expand our theatre and expand our services so we can reach every child who has a correctable deformity in Kenya.
In Kisii, police in the Nyamache sub-county have exhumed a body mistakenly buried by a family after the kin who had been presumed dead returned home.
Tunashukuru serikali na pia tunashukuru wale watu walitusaidia wakati tulikuwa na huu msiba ingawaje msiba, lakini sasa wakati tulipata ndugu yetu amerudi, tumefurahi. Hata saa hizi tunashukuru Mungu kwa sababu tumefunguliwa njia nyingi za kufanya.
Still in Kisii, the county says it is in support of legislation seeking to streamline gambling and gaming.
Be factored in under the umbrella of a multi-sectoral approach so that we are able to read from the same page, and this will also assist us address the previous challenges that we have had in terms of effecting arrest and crackdowns.
Elsewhere, more than 100 herders living in the Ngitukoma area located some 20 kilometers from Lukichogio are now calling on the government to provide them with national identity cards.
Tumekata kitambulisho mara mingi, tunabeba patakofi ya kitambulisho. Na sisi hatupati kitambulisho.
And an agreement has finally been reached on the modalities of subdividing a group ranch belonging to its members in Loitoktok sub-county of Kajiado County.
Tutahakikisha kwamba kama task force ama jopo kazi tutafanya hiyo kazi kwa haki. Wananchi kwa kila mara tutahakikisha kwamba sisi kama kamati resources zile ziko Kuku Group Ranch, both Kuku A na Kuku B.
Members of Kuku Group Ranch agreed to form an inclusive task force to oversee the subdivision of the process of the 283,000 acres of land to the 6,000 members. Arnold Feather for Legends Edition.
Indeed, it's been a sporting weekend, and we invite you to continue staying with us because after this break, Topi Lembila is next.
Biggest odds in the world every day on selected matches. Make a decision. Mozart Bet.
Ili kupata sikiza tune hii ya Usini Record, bonyeza *811*396#.
Unakata pia kabaya wa Kenya mnakuanga nako ya kuweka mtu kwa speaker alafu mnarekodi sauti yake bila ruhusa. Nikipata sauti yangu ina trend huko nje na kuna pesa napata, mtajua mimi mlu yako na roya na sina roya binadamu. Usini Record.
Ili kupata sikiza tune hii Usini Record, bonyeza *811*396#.
Thank you for being part of Save a Life.
organization. We're indeed transforming lives. You have seen, what Dr. Mesha Konguti did to Mogaka. Huge transformation. You have seen Eunice Mwende, huge transformation. Jane from Nyamira, huge transformation. My boy from Turkana, you can see him and after, huge transformation, and many more. Eunice from a place called Kirinyaga. Eunice, thank you for your support. This is what Save a Life is doing. We have saved over 1,066 and many more. We have also built houses. We have also, started small businesses for many. And thank you for your support.
Welcome to Take on Tech. This is the show that keeps you updated on everything you need to know about technology.
First of all, the women that are already in tech should be empowered.
I've actually studied electrical and electronics engineering, telecommunications option. So basically I'm in the tech sector.
The government should empower the girl child in a way that they should venture so much into ICT.
There's never a dull moment with us. Tune in every Monday from 10:30 p.m. only on KBC Channel 1.
Sports News is brought to you by Mozart Bet.
Kurumisha ndege. Aviator instant game. Be a daring pilot and earn by how much high you can lift the plane. The higher you fly, the higher your win. The sky is the limit. Mozart Bet.
It is a big welcome to the sports segment of the Legends edition this Saturday evening. I'm Topi Liambila. Kenya Police and the Sikh Union veterans hockey teams were crowned the 2023 champions of the Vasaki hockey tournament, which ended today at the Sikh Union Club in Nairobi. The tournament, which is making its comeback in Kenya after 18 years, is part of a religious festival that is celebrated by the Sikh Union community all over the world.
Sikh Union defeated Malaysia 2-1 in the final match played at the Dashmish Hockey Stadium to win the veterans title. The team secured the win thanks to Asif Ali's brace in the 7th and 59 minutes. Meanwhile, the Kenya Police hockey team also staged a heated match in the open category that saw them beat Western Jaguars 3-2 in the final match. The event attracted teams from the United Kingdom, Malaysia, and hosts Kenya.
Malaysia, so they were quite strong. We had other local teams which are also very strong, but we tried our best.
A good tournament, and once we win, I believe no tournament is supposed to be a setback.
Kupata ushindi si kitu rahisi na tunaendelea kujikaza hadi kwenye mchezo ambao unakuja next week bado tuko na Butali.
We still had some players from like Malaysia. We also had some international players who also play in Kenya, and we had a chance to play with them, so it was a good experience.
We had come in with the hope of winning the championship, but we fell short. So we have our work cut out.
The Sikh Union Club has pledged to support the growth of hockey in Kenya.
Every weekend we have over 150 boys and girls, age of 3 years old to 10 years, using this facility.
The Ministry of Sports is set to hold talks with the Kenya Hockey Union as a way of returning the sport to its former glory.
Hockey is a game that must be played on the right surface, okay? And the AstroTurf we have just unveiled here is the way to go. And we definitely have a plan to invest in this kind of surface. I have already made an appointment with the leadership of hockey in the country, and we will be sitting down with them to identify spaces that require and must get this kind of AstroTurf.
The tournament attracted 11 teams with 5 participating in the Masters category, while the remaining went for the Open Challenge. The week-long Vaisakhi hockey tournament has come to an end here at the Dashmish Hockey Stadium. Kenya Simba team took the win in the Masters category, while the Kenya Police team took the win in the Open category. Nora Mwangi for Legends Edition.
Still within Nairobi, Kenya boosted their chances of reclaiming the Bathurst Cup Under-20 trophy after beating Uganda 44-20 to qualify for the semi-final matches at the Nyayo National Stadium. The tournament, which has attracted 8 teams from across Africa, ends on the 1st of May this year.
Kenya under-20 rugby team qualified for semi-finals after registering a comfortable 44-20 win over Uganda at the Nyayo National Stadium. Meanwhile, Tunisia beat Madagascar 50-16 to qualify for semi-final matches, where last year's finalist Namibia began the under-20 Bathurst Trophy campaign with a hard-fought 2012 win over Zambia in the second quarter-final match. In other matches, defending champions Zimbabwe began their title defense campaign on a higher note after registering 55-0 victory over Ivory Coast. The tournament, which has attracted 8 teams from across Africa, ends on 1st of May. Kingori Mwangi for Legends Edition.
Team Kenya to this year's 4th Africa Under-18 and Under-20 Athletics Championships in Dola, Zambia, will leave the country next Thursday ahead of the continental assignments. The team, which comprises 49 athletes for the 2 championships, has been in residential training at Kasarani for the past 1 week under the tutelage of head coach Robert Ngisirei.
The Kenyan team that will represent the country at the Africa Under-18 and 20 Championship is raring to go with the Under-18 team, hoping to retain the title they won in Abidjan, Ivory Coast, while the Under-20 team is setting their eyes on this year's title after finishing second in 2019. Athletics Kenya will use the championship to prepare junior and youth athletes for transition to this year's World Athletics Championship in Budapest, Hungary, as well as next year's Olympic Games in Paris, France.
We are thinking the Olympics next year and beyond, so that the athletes that will transit from here can be ready for major championships come next year, and maybe after that World Championship in 2025. And after that also now the Olympics in 2028. So this is a long-term program so that we have continuous upper level competitors from Kenya.
And with less than a month to the 4th Kip Keino Classic Continental Tour at Kasarani Stadium, the organizers are determined to stage a world-class and better event than the 3 previous editions. The organizers are set to announce over 10 elite athletes who will compete in this year's event, set for the 13th of next month. Multiple Olympic and World Sprint champion Shelley-Ann Fraser-Price of Jamaica was the first international athlete to confirm her participation.
We would like to continue growing in that direction so that more activities, especially on African continent, maybe South Africa, Nigeria and the others, gives more opportunities to our own athletes, that they can have more competition within this continent, and of course they can also invite others from other continents, from Europe, American continent, from Asian continent.
The Kip Keino Classic will be the 3rd gold-label continental tour this year, after Melbourne, Australia, which was held on the 23rd of February, and the 2nd tour set for Gaborone, Botswana on the 29th of this month.
The Kenya Sikh Union Club says it will support the government's flagship plan, the Talanta Hela initiative, which seeks to monetize talent in sports and the creative industry. The club says it will donate 1 million shillings to the project to help identify, recruit, nurture and market and monetize talent.
The club, which hosted the 2023 Vaisakhi hockey tournament, made the announcement during a tour by the Sports Cabinet Secretary Ababuna Mwamba and the Sikh Union Club, accompanied by the club's representatives.
We are going to support Talanta Hela
with a small contribution. I have a lot of heavyweights here, and we are going to make a contribution of Kenya shillings 1 million to Talanta Hela.
The Talanta Initiative is a master plan for developing all sports activities, facilities, and stadiums in the country.
Talanta Hela is not going to be undertaking any new programs on our own. Talanta Hela will plug into what is already going on and work closely with those who are already rolling on.
Kenyan sporting stadiums are also bound to get a facelift under the Talanta Initiative plan.
It's a master plan that provides a roadmap on what kind of infrastructure, at what level, where are we doing this infrastructure, and for what purpose.
The Kenyan athletes are also expected to monetize the sporting talent and make it their source of livelihood.
Tumeanzisha mpango wa kuhakikisha kwamba talanta zote tunazogundua katika michezo hii zinapewa fursa ya kuendelezwa kupitia Kenya Academy of Sports and the Arts.
Nora Mwangi for Legends Edition.
From the basketball front, USIU Tigers trounced Blazers 71-51 points in Game 1 of the Kenya Basketball Federation Men's League playoffs at the Nyayo National Stadium Indoor Gymnasium. In another match, Zone 5 champions KPA women's team defeated JKUAT Lynx 96-24. Some of the action.
USIU Tigers dominated the first half and second quarters, narrowly winning 15-12 and 15-11 respectively. Blazers came back fighting in the third quarter, which they bagged 17-16. However, Blazers lost the fourth quarter 25-11 to hand the students the victory. Kubali Kipiari was the top scorer for Blazers with 12 points, while Kajumbe Peter scored 12 points for USIU Tigers.
Tough game. We lost, not so much to USIU, but it's playoffs, it's game 1. So, I mean, we have the opportunity to come back to game 2 and pick up the mistakes that we had in this first game. So basically, we're just going to go regroup and come back to game 2. So definitely we hope to get them in game 2.
We started a bit slow in the first half, but we picked up pace towards the end of the game. We identified their weaknesses and we capitalized on their weaknesses and we emerged victorious.
Guys tried their best, but we were a bit sloppy on defense especially. And we're going to make some adjustments. This is a playoff basketball. It's only game 1. The guys did well on offense, but they had a few lapses on defense. And of course, it's a fitter team, it's a younger team. So those are things you have to put in place.
In other matches, Cabal's Elite beat JKUAT Warriors 67-61, Stanbic Bank saw off Little Prince 68-45, while Zone 5 champions KPA women's team defeated JKUAT Lynx 96-24 points.
On football, former FKF Premier League champions Gor Mahia boosted their chances of reclaiming the league title after beating Police FC 1-0 in a match played at the Kasarani Stadium. Meanwhile, Nairobi City Stars moved to the 14th position after a 2-1 win over Kariobangi Sharks.
Gor Mahia scored the lone goal through Austin Adhiambo in the 56th minute to extend their lead at the top of the standings to 56 after 26 matches. Defending champions Tusker FC lies second with 54 points, 6 ahead of that placed Bidco United.
We are the better team. We are the better team, but being the better team doesn't get you points. You got to put the ball in the back of the net. We knew that Police all season have been a bit weak at set pieces. We knew, and we've been obviously very strong at them.
Kujaribu kuangalia ligi imeshikana. Na ukiangalia mechi Jumamosi unacheza, Jumatano unacheza. So lazima uwe na timu kikosi imara.
In other matches, Nairobi City Stars moved up to the 14th place after a 2-1 win over Kariobangi Sharks, while Bandari FC played to a 1-1 draw with Atlanta FC. Posta Rangers defeated Mathare United 2-0. Wazito secured a 1-0 win over Ulinzi as Sofapaka lost 2-0 to Bidco United. Tomorrow, FC Leopards will take on 4th placed KCB, while Kakamega Homeboys travel to play Vihiga Bullets. For Legends Edition Sports, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
And in volleyball, the Kenya Ports Authority humbled KDF by 3-2 in a closely contested Kenya Volleyball Federation National Men's League match played at the Nyayo National Stadium. Meanwhile, Equity Bank overcame Prisons Nyanza by 3 sets as AP Kenya lost to Kenya Army by 3-1.
KPA defeated KDF by 3-2. Despite a weak start, KDF started the match sharply, winning the first set 25-22. KPA, however, came back strongly, winning the second set 26-24. KDF pulled up the game and won the third set 25-23. KPA, however, bounced back with a narrow win of 25-23 in the fourth set, then won the fifth set 15-11 to bag maximum points. In other matches, Equity Bank defeated Prisons Nyanza by 3 straight sets, while Kenya Army humbled AP Kenya 3-1. For Legends Edition, I'm Fred Njogu.
And once again, the London Marathon is with us.